I'm going to share with you what I do when I feel like my life is falling apart. Hi my friend, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Zach and I help guide spiritual seekers like yourself release their fears and deepen their connection to the spirit within, and to remind you that you are safe, you are loved, you are protected, and you are worthy. So we're not going to write a list on the board today, we're just going to spitball, and I hope you guys like this. So I have a lot of experience with feeling like my life is falling apart. I was diagnosed with leukemia at 14, I relapsed at 16, I had to have a bone marrow transplant. At 19, my hip collapsed and I needed a hip replacement, telling me that I could no longer have the dream of becoming a professional athlete. At 33, I developed, or 34, 33, 35, I developed AFib. At 36, 35, no, 34, I developed AFib, had to get surgery for that. At 35, I had to get a hip replacement. My spine is collapsed. You guys have probably seen that video where I ended up seeing my dead grandpa and had a near-death experience. So I've had a lot of, my point in saying that is I'm trying to give myself credit telling you that you can trust me, that I feel like my life has fallen apart a lot. And some people feel that their lives have fallen apart financially, relationally. I can also feel that with my first breakup before I met my true love, Shauna. But we all have shit, right? We all have this stuff in our lives that it just feels like it's falling apart and things just will not get better. And I totally understand that 100%. It seems like it happens for all of us habitually. But I'm just going to tell you the few things that I do that have helped me get out of that feeling like my life is falling apart and start to see the silver lining and start to co-create the new reality that I've asked for as a result of all of that crumbling down. And before we get to those things, if you could hit that subscribe button down below, I would be so grateful and appreciative so that we can continue on this journey of spiritual awakening and manifesting together. There's a song by Jason Mraz called 3 Things, and he says, "There are 3 things I do when my life falls apart. Number 1, I cry my eyes out and dry up my heart." So that's a great song. And it's kind of funny because that's the first thing that I do. Like when it feels like my life falling apart, I just sulk. So you're probably with me. We just sulk, right? We just, you just kind of do one of those, like when is this ever going to get better? I used to tell my dad all the time when things just kept like beating me down, and I just would tell him, I just keep feeling like I keep getting kicked in the nuts. Like every time something gets good, it's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward. And I just was like, oh my God, I just keep getting kicked in the nuts. Like, when is my life going to change? When is my body going to heal? When am I not going to be a cancer patient? When am I not going to have to get chemo and prednisone and blah, blah, blah? And that has kind of been a story that has played out habitually in my life. Maybe to help me remember that we're this strong, right? These stories keep playing out because it's reminding us that we are this strong. But I like to sulk. I like to just, feel it. But I will say this. I love the statement that goes, you have to feel it to heal it. And there was an incident when a year after I'd broken up with my first relationship, my first girlfriend. I saw her at the gym and I emotionally went into this tailspin. I just went crazy. I worked out. The workout did not help at all. I just felt chaotic and noisy the whole time. Got in my car and I'm sitting getting gas at the gas station. And I just look up in the sky and I go, anyone that is willing to help me, that is listening, angels, God, source, my inner being, anyone who can help me, just give me something. Just give me something for this. So I get in my car and I drive to the stoplight, and like there was a megaphone in my head, I heard, feel it. And it was beyond the words. It was a feeling where it was telling me to feel that emotion in my body. Feel where it's coming from. And I felt this deep despair, this like sense of loss. and I felt it in my gut and in my heart. And as soon as I felt it, I shit you not, it was like it evaporated, and I started to laugh. And so for 2 weeks, I played that game, and I had so much power. I felt like I was freaking Superman. Like, I kid you not, because I had so much power over my emotions, I intentionally would create a feeling of discomfort, of anger, of sadness, of despair, of frustration, all the emotions you could think of, disbelief. And then I felt them in my body, and they just lifted like it didn't even exist. Sorry for my sweaty pits. They just lifted like it didn't even exist. And so there's a power in sulking if we don't get stuck there. That's my caveat to this, but I like to sulk, and I like to be a little moody and be a little Gemini, because I'm a Gemini. I probably have some Cancer in there as well, because the Gemini, I probably have, the Gemini and the Cancer, they're kind of close, but that's what I like to do. I like to sulk, and eventually I get to the point where I can feel it. And the second thing is, after I feel it, I go inwardly even deeper, and I ask myself, is there anything that I can learn from this? What is this telling me? What is this situation teaching me right now about the thoughts that I'm thinking, about the beliefs that I'm holding, and about how I'm being? I sometimes like to point the finger at other people, but guess what? When I point the finger at somebody else, there's 3 pointing right back at me. And I recognize that pretty quickly, within a few days, usually within a day. And then I say, well, what is this person teaching me about me? Or what is this person or the situation, the circumstance, teaching me about how I want to go forward into my life? And pretty quickly, I register what it is showing me. So instead of blaming that person for why I'm feeling a specific way, or that situation for why I'm feeling a specific way, I say, okay, well, I have some opportunities to grow right now when it comes to my faith. I have opportunities to grow right now when it comes to my kindness, my grace, my gratitude, my appreciation. When I see people that are not being appreciative of their circumstances, I go, reminder for me to appreciate my circumstances, my situation, to be grateful. And so that's the second thing that I do, is I try to go inward. I don't try, I do. I go inward, and I do my very best to self-reflect and to ask, what is this situation, circumstance, individual teaching me right now that I can then learn and carry forward with me into my future experiences? Number 3, this is where I go into fix-it mode. I go into do mode. So what I start doing is I start meditating more, and I start visualizing more, and I start listening to more teachers, particularly Abraham Hicks, and I read Ask and It Is Given, and I read The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East, since I've been reading that since I was 23 and 24 years old. These books are very pertinent. I read the Upanishads, books that are very important to me, hence the reason I like to keep physical books. I read those because they are the reminders of the simple things that I've forgotten. But sometimes I take that fix-it mode and the do mode, I know you can resonate with this, the do mode, a little too far. And in that doing mode, I forget to surrender. I forget to let go. I try to in my meditations, but oftentimes in my meditations, I start to be a little noisy in my head when I'm in that fix-it mode. I'm not in the letting go. I'm not in the surrender mode. And so instead of letting go and letting it flow, I resist and I hold on to it, and I want it to come in a particular way, and I want it to come in a particular form, and I want this situation and circumstance and individual changed in a particular way, the way that I want it, instead of doing those things, getting the feeling state, changing my vibration, and then going out into the world and looking for signs that I am on the right path. Because as I look for those signs, my vibration tends to continue to elevate, and then that thing, that situation, that circumstance changes Not in the timeline that I may want, but it is a change in how I get to experience it with new, fresh eyes. And that is the fourth thing that I do, is I get the lesson. I get the clarity. I get it through the letting go and through the surrendering. I felt it. Number one, I felt it. I sulked. I experienced it. Number two, I asked what I was going to learn from it or what this was teaching me. Number three, I did the processes that I know are effective, the meditation, the visualization, the reading. And then number four, I let go and surrendered, and I received the clarity and the inspiration. Those have been the way that I have overcome these terrible situations in my life. These are the way that when life was falling apart for me, that everything began to change in the way that I asked, in the way that my spirit wanted to come through me. My firm belief is that God, Spirit, Source, wants what you want 100%. Your inner being, your spirit has expanded through all of these negative experiences in your life, these contrasting experiences in your life. And because of that expansion, your inner being will always call you forward. I know that my inner being is always calling me forward. And it's only my journey to catch up or not. But my inner being is never going to come back to where I am. Once our inner beings expand, it is just our journey to play that catch-up game. And the catch-up game is an inner journey of thought and emotion. The emotion is telling us how close we are to our inner being or how far away we are. Never disconnected, always connected, always on a line. We're either walking backwards away from that line, or we're walking forwards towards that line, or we're staying still while our inner being continues to expand. And so it's just about us always holding on to that line. It's locked and towed right around the waistline. We just have to keep following where our inner being has gone, and we do that through our emotion. And so when your life is falling apart, and hopefully this video helps remind you that it is going to get better, stop for a second. Let yourself feel it. Ask what it's teaching you. Ask what you can learn from it. Do your processes. Maybe incorporate the processes that I've given you. Some of the processes I've done before are in this video right here. And then just let go and surrender and trust and have faith. Step 4 is usually the hardest for me. It's definitely my hardest. I want to do and fix it. But sometimes if I'm doing everything I possibly can and I can't do anything else, it's time for me to say, Spirit, God, I know that you are with me now, and I know that you want the best for me, and I know that you want me to be where you are. So in this moment, I just ask that you give me a little bit of clarity, a little bit of guidance, even if that's just to take a walk, listen to some music, listen to a video, meditate, dance, watch a funny movie, cuddle my dog, cuddle my loved one, cook something, take a deep breath. Just give me that clarity and guidance that I'm moving forward towards you now. That seems to work for me. So I hope these work for you, and I know that they will to a point. But if you can incorporate this, for me, these have always worked. These have brought me to where I am now, where I get to live a beautiful, joyful life with my perfect partner, an amazing doggy, beautiful family, wonderful health, an awesome job, and more joy and love that I could possibly imagine. And I want that for you. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you always. I love to hear your feedback, comments down below. If you like this video, check out this one. And I want you to remember you are loved, you are safe, you are protected, and you are worthy. Always 100%. That is what God's promise is to us. Okay? I love you. I'll talk to you in the next video. Till then, see ya. Bye.